Hello everybody, it's me again and welcome to another reaction video. And today, we're going to be doing a McDonald's reaction video. As you can see, look. A McDonald's reaction video. It's for Happy Meals. Oh! So I'm interested in what Happy Meal toys they delivered. You know, pretty good. So today, I'm going to be reacting to the top 10 scariest Happy Meal toys by top 10. Let's get it on. Right, so here we go, the top 10 scariest Happy Meal toys.
We all remember when we were kids going to McDonald's and getting those Happy Meal toys. Sure, it was a rip-off, paying for loads of meals to get that tiny piece of plastic.
Of course it was.
But they were super fun, right? Also, we remember. Turns out, sometimes though, Ronald McDonald wasn't feeling his old happy self and made things really damn creepy. Some of these toys are dangerous and some are just plain scary and will give you nightmares. I'm Charlie and today we're going to look at the
scariest Happy Meal toys ever!
But before we jump into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Do it or Ronald will get you. Coming up first, we have
dinosaurs!
Every kid loved playing with those dinosaurs, especially little boys. So that's why in the early 2000s, McDonald's decided to put some in their Happy Meals. They made a bunch of these plastic dinosaur toys, and
good sign for McDonald's.
Only problem was, they were cheaply made in China, so the quality wasn't great. As you can see, what they thought would be an awesome toy turned out to be plain disturbing. Some of them look more like crocodiles or alligators than dinosaurs. And the baby dinosaur even resembles an alien creature, or maybe some kind of mutation of an actual baby. People reminisced about these dinosaur toys in an online forum, and pretty much everyone said they got nightmares and had to throw their toys away. What wussy kids wouldn't want to play with this ET looking toy? Next up is
Ronald McDonald mask!
Everyone knows that the clown Ronald McDonald was the McDonald's mascot. The only problem was, McDonald's didn't realise most people don't like clowns. In fact, it's one of the most common phobias of all time. So that's why in 2003, McDonald's stopped using Ronald McDonald.
You're fired, Ronald!
You're
fired, Ronald McDonald!
Disastrous toy. This toy released in the 90s was a Ronald McDonald mask. The mask was supposed to be all friendly and fun, but it looks more like the clown from It. I guess
it looks like the clown from the horror film.
Clowns just aren't fun anymore. Kids were really freaked out by this mask. And also it was usually all greasy because of the oily foods it was next to. I'd say this is probably one of the most sad Happy Meal toys of all time. You can actually pay me not to wear a greasy clown mask.
You can pay me not to. Food fundamentals! Oh, this one's funny.
If you're a true 90s kid, you remember these toys. Back in the 90s, McDonald's released a bunch of toys known as food fundamentals. They were getting a lot of bad press because their food was unhealthy. So instead of adding fruits to the menu, they simply added fruit toys. The toys were really creepy versions of unhealthy foods. This included some low-fat milk, a steak,
but today, McDonald's have fruit bags.
Ruby and the sandwich named Otis looked the most creepy. And the face on the low-fat milk is straight out of nightmares. Needless to say, these toys were not popular and were soon discontinued. But if you do have some of these, you could sell them for big money. Recently, some were sold on eBay for nearly $100.
100?
Next up is
swearing minions! Oh, this was crazy.
I probably dislike Minions. They've gone from being a small part of the Despicable Me movies into something way bigger.
And the Minions even got their own Minion film.
Teamed up with McDonald's. With Happy Meals, they released
McDonald's Minion toys cussing.
That may sound like a pretty good toy compared to other Happy Meal toys. But parents were very displeased because the Minions appeared to say F you. Now, this was not intentional. Instead, the Minions are supposedly speaking a made-up language
called Minion language.
This is basically a bunch of gibberish, but some of that gibberish
kind of like penguin language from
In fact,
Penguin.
It sounded like some of these Minions were cursing. These Minions were quickly taken off the market. But that's not before a lot of parents complained about their kids' sweary Happy Meal toys. Next up is Tickle Feather.
Tickle Feather, oh, this one.
After you hear this one, you're not going to believe McDonald's.
That looks like a good side for McDonald's.
We all know what a suggestive tickle feather is for. Basically, it's something some people use for a bit of fun in the bedroom. In the 90s, McDonald's released a tickle feather. This was a piece of foam made to look like a feather. I'm not sure how they came up with it or who the toy was even for. Maybe they just had some old foam laying around in the factory and it was cheap to make.
They had old foam in their factory at McDonald's.
The very naughty undertones of this toy. And what would kids even use it for anyway?
Tickling?
This toy was quickly discontinued and was never brought back. Just imagine if they tried that in 2020.
McDonald's will
be
just can't be cancelled.
Coming up next is Sky Dancers.
Sky Dancers! Oh, this one.
Back in the 2000s, this was the most popular toy every girl wanted. These
It was.
creepy wide-eyed fairies would catapult into the air. They had very sharp, fast-moving wings, but they were soon found to be very dangerous. Many girls who played with them were smacked in the face as they catapulted up into the air. But not only were these kind of dangerous, some said they were kind of creepy too. They have very eerie smiles and gigantic, bulging eyes. And they were quite repetitive too. All you would do is launch them into the air and they'd fall back down. Kids also loved trolling their siblings by shooting them at each other. But that again proves how dangerous these toys really were. Some kids were even said to have nightmares because these toys only had one leg. Maybe they were some kind of weird woman-flamingo hybrid. Or maybe McDonald's just wanted to save money.
They did want to save money.
Next up is Rasputin.
Rasputin.
I'm sure we all know about Rasputin, either from history class or the Boney M song. But in the late 90s, a movie named Anastasia was brought out and people went crazy for it. It introduced kids to Russian history and
Russian
folklore,
culture.
and at the time the movie teamed up with McDonald's to produce a Rasputin toy. However, when kids got the toy, they realised it was actually very creepy. You could pop off his head and body parts by pushing a button on his back. This is likely a play on what happened to Rasputin as he was assassinated. But parents were furious.
Why did you make
With
this?
this very scary toy. Considering it was for kids, it was pretty gruesome. Also, why would you make a kid's toy based off one of the most dark stories in history? Next up is Halloween Hamburglar.
Halloween
If
Hamburglar?
you're not in the USA, you may not know what Hamburglar is. Back in the 80s, McDonald's had two mascots, Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar was basically Ronald McDonald's evil counterpart. He was a villain who would steal hamburgers. And he was also supposed to be kind of scary. So that's why in Halloween of 1988, McDonald's brought out a Halloween-inspired Hamburglar. They tried to make him look like a scary witch. And they succeeded as many kids burst into tears after getting this toy. There's even a spider crawling on his face, which is the #1 phobia in the world. I'm not sure why his face is green and why his tongue is so big. When you moved this toy around, its eyes would move and track you around the room. So needless to say, that Halloween, a lot of kids did not get much sleep. Coming up next is Creepy Jellyfish.
Creepy Jellyfish! From Shark
This
Tale,
toy
from
was part of
DreamWorks.
the promotion of the movie Shark Tale. Shark Tale and McDonald's teamed up to make
Shark
some
Tale and
characters
McDonald's?
into Happy Meal toys. But things went seriously wrong with the jellyfish character. Not only does he have a face like the rapper Future, but some said the shape was also kind of suggestive. Parents were shocked to find this rude-shaped toy in their kids' Happy Meals. Maybe these parents had their minds in the gutter. But what do you guys think? Is this toy inappropriate or just harmless fun? I have to say, I've never seen a jellyfish that looks anything like this. And finally on the list, we have
Play-Doh mini packs. Oh, this is a good one.
We all know that toys come with warnings saying do not eat. But with this one, I'm not sure how they thought kids wouldn't try and swallow the toy.
In the 80s, Play-Doh and McDonald's teamed up to make a Happy Meal toy.
The toy came with Play-Doh and a mold, so they could make their favourite McDonald's food
Oh, that's
out
good.
of Play-Doh. The idea may seem pretty fun, but there was a big chance kids would ingest the toy while playing with it. It is definitely not good to eat Play-Doh, and according to many people reminiscing on forums, they did in fact eat this toy. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Vote
Which
in the
toy
polls
was
and
the
talk about
scariest?
Which McDonald's Happy Meal toy was the scariest? If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thank you for watching. There's some more videos you may like on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.
Oh, Ronald McDonald would get you. So there you go, buddy. That was a reaction to the top 10 scariest Happy Meal toys ever. So comment down below which toy do you think was the scariest.